as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
James is our local art dealer. He is an amazing human being. He's got such a fabulous history himself. I don't know whether to call him Lord, Sir, or Your Royal Highness, because you have that much integration of culture, history yourself.
Anything will do.
But it really is lovely, but you have such a colourful career, probably as colourful and as detailed as the paintings that you like to study. So it's nice to have James pop in now and then to give us like one of these anecdotes from your past. I mean, your story with Muhammad Ali, for example. I mean, the people that you've met is just mind-boggling.
I've been very lucky. I mean, there aren't many professions where you meet so many interesting people and also have a lot of fun.
So what gem have you got for this week?
Well, I don't know about gem, but after a couple of years at Sotheby's, I joined Sotheby's as a porter with the intention that when something came up in one of the departments, they would put me into that. Well, they did, but it was porcelain. Now, much as I admire sort of pieces of delicate Meissen and lovely little shepherds and shepherdesses, I can't get terribly enthusiastic about them. And so just across the road was an art dealer called Wildenstein. And I wanted to work with pictures, but the picture department in Sotheby's was the most popular, and there was obviously no way I was going to get into that. So I walked across the road to Wildenstein's and managed to get myself a job. I was the youngest salesman they'd had by 20 years, because I was 21 at the time, and they said they don't normally have young men as salesmen, but be that as it may.
Enthusiasm came through, obviously.
I suppose so. But I was back in Sotheby's in a week's time, but in a rather different role. We had a buyer called LaRue Smith LaRue, and he had his own chair in Sotheby's sales, and he was always in that chair. And there was a picture coming up by a Sienese artist, dated around 1450, called Lorenzo Monaco. Very rare picture, but it was one of a set of 4, and it was known that Wildenstein owned the other 3, and so all the other dealers knew that Wildenstein had to be interested in this picture. And there's a lot of jealousy and rivalry in the art business, and we knew we were going to get pushed. And so LaRue was sent into his normal seat in the front, and I was sent right at the back. And I was just told to buy the picture. No limit whatsoever. Buy it.
How old were you?
21.
Wow. Back then.
I'd never bid at auction. And the picture before came up, and I felt my knees going weak, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to faint. And when I come round, the picture will have been sold, and I'll have lost my job. But fortunately, managed to pull myself together and bought the picture, which now resides in the Metropolitan Museum of New York alongside the other 3.
Can I ask how much it was purchased for?
I got it for £48,000.
But which back then?
In 1962 was a very considerable amount of money. I mean, you're talking about, I suppose, the equivalent of £500,000 today.
What is amazing is that being so new in the job and it being such an important purchase, that they would have even entrusted you in the first place. And obviously you've always had this impressive air about you. That,
I don't know if I had it at 21, but...
So what did you do? Were you lifting up your bidding thing, or how
They
did you
didn't
do
have paddles in those days. You just bid. And you hadn't had to register or anything, which is why, obviously, they had to change it later, because one sale I was at, again at Sotheby's, one man bought about 10 of the first 30 lots and underbid several of the others. And it turned out that he was on day release from a mental institution and he hadn't got 2 pennies to rub together, which caused absolute chaos, because the people that had bought pictures where he was the underbidder felt that they had been hard done by because they wouldn't have had to pay that much money. And
Right, and obviously drawing that price way up without
yeah,
being
pushing
necessary.
prices up, and it was chaos.
Is it fun?
Yes. Yeah, it can be real fun. But another one I did with Wildenstein was quite amusing. It was an impressionist sale, and I was given a limit of £32,000 to buy a picture by Lucien Pizarro, and which I duly bid for and bought for £45,000. So I get back, and Leonard Foster, the manager, said, "How'd you get on?" "Oh, bought the picture." "Oh, good. How much for?" 45,000. "Oh. Mr. George Wildenstein, that is, the boss, is in Paris at the moment. You better ring him and tell him I've gone £15,000 over my limit." And so I rang him, went through the whole rigmarole again. "How much?" 45,000. "How much did I tell you to go to?" 32,000, Mr. George. "Mm-hmm." I said, "But it is a very, very good picture." "Yeah, you're right." Went the phone. Never heard another word.
And did it sell after that or make a nice profit?
I'm sure it did, but you see, we had galleries in Paris, Buenos Aires, New York, and London. So wherever we bought a picture, we never sold it in the same country.
Did you get to travel to the other galleries?
No. No, not at that time. I got to travel a lot later, but no, one was purely in London in those days.
An anecdote for another day. As I say, you never know who you're standing next to or sitting next to in Marbella. James will be joining us because we've decided that you do need to know what's going on in our city before it happens. And James is going to try and keep us the heads up, at least for our cultural events, because they're very much wanted by the community. And once again, if we don't share that they're on, how are we going to get to go? We wouldn't want to miss out. James, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Always entertaining.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Dismissed from drama school with a note that read, "Wasting her time. She's too shy to put her best foot forward." Turned down by the Decca recording company, who said, "We don't like their sound and guitar music is on the way out." A failed soldier, farmer, and real estate agent. At 38 years old, he went to work for his father as a handyman. Cut from the high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything, and he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination and had no original ideas. His fiancée died, he failed in business twice, he had a nervous breakdown, and he was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never lived.
Free taxi 4 times a month and 25% discount on your car insurance if you're the Zero Hero.
Yeah, I'm here in Marbella, but it says here I'm in La Canada.
If you haven't mastered the lingo, don't worry. Línea Directa has a free GPS geolocator service that will come and find you. 24th of April 2018 at 10 o'clock in the morning we'll be opening the doors for our 3rd United Nationalities of Marbella Summit. For 2 years we've already gone through issues that affect our local community. Just by foreigners living in a foreign country creates issues that maybe only affect us, and although we have a very competent and very involved town hall, things do slip through the cracks which we can actually resolve amongst our community. Remedios is one of the committee members for the United Nationalities of Marbella Summit, and she's been helping us the last 2 years get this far, which has been a wonderful achievement. Above all, seeing how people really are enthusiastic about doing what they can. And obviously, if you've got kids, you're interested in those. If you've got a message to share, you're interested in that. But there is a lot of interest in this event, and we hope you come. Things that are going to be discussed this year, the things we want to put solutions to Remedios. One of the main ones is the communication or lack of communication along our 27-kilometer coastline.
Those 2 years have been very interesting to hear different comments from people, how they feel, because you know there are so many nationalities in this area. You know people individually, but then you have the feeling that the lack of connection among them. And then on the other hand, you have town halls trying to do things, but sometimes you feel they are not taking into account all those comments, all those opinions, feelings. And
how can they, when there are 137 nationalities, with all of us have such different needs or expectations even?
Yes, so finally, after 2 years, we have a number of issues that we can focus to find solutions for them, and that's the aim of this year. And for people who get very isolated because of age, because they don't have friends, because their families are in other countries, we have very good proposals for young people with this proposal for the zero hero. It's so interesting for young people who don't want to drink alcohol and offer to drive for the ones who are enjoying in a group. So that's very interesting because you know the risk of drinking alcohol and then driving. And for charities using restaurants in low season to organize their events, that's a very good initiative. So we have a number of initiatives that can help people and businesses, and that, I think, it's the perfect combination this year.
I do too. And this year we're also, well, we're carrying on with our interest in our children, not just finding out hangout spaces for our teens, safe places for those 13 to 17-year-olds. We're looking to incorporate the orphans from the orphanages in Malaga into our community, because we have a lot of people here who do not have families, a lot of problems when you get older, not having that family circle to support you. But people do tend in Marbella to create their own little families amongst their friends. So how lovely that we can look to incorporate children that are now too old for the orphanage, but need to have a future and something to look forward to, and hopefully people watching out for them. And what better place than Marbella? So another nice connection is what businesses can incorporate these kids to get them into a community and give them a position.
There are two important ways that the schools can get involved as well, and that's something I have been doing in the past. On the one side, you have work experience. Young people need to have work experience before they go to university. So students in secondary school, they are very interested in doing work experience, and we have many businesses interested to offer places for them for 2-3 weeks of experience or even longer periods. And you have also the connection between young people and elderly people. I have been developing that kind of projects, young people from schools visiting elderly people in residencies or in their private home, but they get very isolated and they feel so happy, and it's so positive for them when they have visitors, when they have young people visiting them and spending time with them. And it's something you can feel how young people enjoy visiting elderly people and spending time with them. It's that connection is incredible, and that's something we can develop with the schools as well.
Exactly. It's just getting communication going, creating a grapevine when things are going on, letting people know that they're going on. And we want to let you know that on the 24th of April 2018, from 10 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon, we will be interacting. It is a community meeting for the community. There will be afterwards a cocktail lunch if you want to take part in that. A very good moment to network with the consuls who are coming, the heads of the schools, owners of marketing directors of the main restaurants, groups, cinemas, sports clubs. In fact, this is something for all the movers and shakers. if you've got something going on in Marbella, let's connect you with other people who've got things going on so that we can really shake it up.
Yeah, for any kind of business, people who want to show what they can offer, their services, I said last week, lawyers or economists, people that can give you some service, advice, guidance, they should be interested in attending because it's an opportunity for networking and connecting nationalities. I think it's interesting for any kind of business.
Exactly. So if you've got the interest of others at heart, as well as your own, of course, we don't expect you to forget yourself. UNMN 2018, put the date in your diaries, 24th of April 2018. Remedios, thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Oh, what would I do without you? Nos encanta saber que aunque no habláis inglés, que seguís el programa, así que muchísimas gracias. Mañana estaré con Eva Bien a las 11 de la mañana con un invitado de nuestro mundo internacional para que podamos compartir ideas y conocernos un poco mejor. Así que espero que podáis sintonizar a 107.6. We will be back tomorrow with another Marbella Now. I was just saying that we will be back with Eva Bien. Also on the radio, we do that in Spanish with a member of our international community. So if you do speak Spanish and you would like to come on the radio with us, please let us know. Also, if you'd like to come on Marbella Now TV, you can contact us as well. We have Facebook pages for Me Marbella and also for Marbella Now. So do let us know your thoughts and what's going on in your world. Hasta mañana.